Robert E. Lee was born in Stratford, Virginia on January 19, 1807. Robert was the fourth child of Revolutionary War hero Henry Lighthorse Harry Lee. His mother was Anne Hill Carter Lee. Robert was raised mostly by his mother. He was a Christian, and in contrast to the strong example of his mother, Robert saw his father and tried harder to be like him. Robert was accepted into the United States Military Academy and later graduated second in his class. He served in the 1845 war between the United States and Mexico. General Winfield Scott, overall United States commander, attached Robert Lee to his staff. He served there with James Longstreet, Thomas Jackson, George Pickett, and Ulysses S. Grant. Following the Mexican War, he entered into the Army Service of Engineers. He spent his years in D.C. there. Later, he was asked to be the commander of the Union Army, but did not accept it because he could not fight against fellow Virginians. The first battle was at Bull Run, also known as Manassas. It seemed like an outright victory for the Union. However, he was saved by his commander, Stonewall Jackson. Stonewall Jackson had quite a reputation for himself and was known as an odd man, but he was one of the best generals in the United States Civil War. The second major battle that Lee fought in was the Battle of Antietam. The Battle of Antietam was the first offensive for the Confederate Army, and they lost. The third major battle was the Battle of Fredericksburg. Fredericksburg they won through superior tactics. The next major battle was the Battle of Chancellorsville. Lee was faced with a much larger army led by Joe Hooker. Him and Stonewall Jackson divided the forces and won through, yet again, better tactics. One of the greatest battles in the Civil War is Gettysburg. It was fought through 3 days on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. The Army of Northern Virginia, led by Lee, and the Army of the Potomac, led by George Meade, fought each other. On the third day of the battle, Lee, hoping to end the conflict, ordered the famous Pickett's Charge. Pickett was mowed down and Lee blamed himself. The devastation at Gettysburg was tremendous, causing Lincoln to give his famous Gettysburg Address. He later then surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse, where there was also a battle fought prior. Following the war, Lee was tried as a traitor, but he left with all of his civil rights suspended. Lee was offered the president of Washington University, where he served until his death in 1870. That school was later renamed as Washington and Lee. And as a final note, President Ford had Lee's citizenship restored. Robert E. Lee was a true American. He fought for not only what he believed in, but he fought for his fellow man. Robert E. Lee is an American hero.